Right now, it's time for your #1 radio-friendly inspirational program, Be All You Can Be, on the Beat 99.9 FM, with your host, Lanre Olusola. The Catalyst is looking as cool as ever.
Oh, Chris, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic, and we've got a phenomenal array of tips today, and we've got an incredible guest today. His name is Ade Adefemi. Ade, what's up?
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Larry.
Now, this morning, it's going to be off the chart, and we're talking about the laws and the psychology of consistent peak performance.
Yeah.
Ade, what is peak performance?
Most of the time, I prefer using the term peak excellence because, you as a human being, you do not know exactly what really is your peak. When you start off something and you're at the peak of it, when you think you are at the peak, look around you, there's room for improvement. So it is about being able to stretch yourself. You don't know exactly how far you can go. I think it was in the movie Rocky IV where Stallone said that what makes a champion is not really how hard you can hit, how you can get up after you have been hit hard. So it's about peak performance, basically, in a simple form. I would just say that peak performance is getting to the pinnacle, the height of your abilities, being able of your achievement, your abilities, your performance, your productivity. In short, is getting to the height of getting results.
Wow, so I'm going to just capture it in a simple statement. Peak performance is being all you can be.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it is being all you can be. It is important for you to put the word consistent in front of peak performance because, you don't want to just be a one-time off. You don't want to just achieve peak performance once. You want to make it a culture. You want to make it your attitude. And so I'm going to roll out the 24 laws of consistent peak performance. The very first one is the law of vision, the law of setting goals. That is, you've got to be able to set your goals. You've got to be able to paint a picture of a desired future. The second law is the law of writing it down. You've got to write that goal and that vision down. The third one is the law of belief. You've got to have unwavering faith and belief in your goals, yourself, and your ability to succeed. The fourth one is the law of alignment. You've got to align your goals, your vision with your core values and your beliefs. The fifth law is the law of positive thoughts and positive words in alignment and in sync with your dreams, your vision, and with your goals. The sixth law is the law of action. You've got to be able to take requisite action in alignment with the goals that you set for yourself. The seventh law is the law of sound judgment. You've got to be strategic and tactical at the same time. The eighth law is the law of flexibility. You've got to be dynamic in your thinking. You've got to be flexible in your behavior. Without it, you will never be able to achieve your goal and attain consistent peak performance. The ninth law is the law of focus. Don't get distracted, and you've got to see it through. Unwavering. You've got to be unwavering. The 10th law is the law of initiative. You've got to be able to take initiative. The 11th law is the law of decisiveness. You've got to be able to decide quickly. Eliminate procrastination. I say that procrastination is the thief of invention, success, and consistent peak performance. The 12th law is the law of integrity. You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be truthful. You've got to do the right things at the right time for the right reasons. And you've got to be true to your cause, your goals, your vision. The 13th law is the law of positivity. You've got to have positive mental attitude always. The 14th law is the law of self-confidence, self-belief, and a healthy self-esteem. The 15th law is the law of selflessness and service to humanity. The 16th law is the law of boldness, the law of courage. Even through seemingly provocative, discouraging situations, you've got to be able to push through and consistently push through. The 17th law is the law of knowledge, understanding, and learning. Ignorance is your enemy, not the devil. The 18th law is the law of dedication and consistency. You've got to commit to everything that you do, and you've got to be devoted, and you've got to be consistent. 19, the law of tenacity and endurance. In this environment, in these climes, with the kinds of people that want to put you down, you've got to ensure that you're tenacious and you endure to the end. The 20th law is the law of relationships. Without people, you can never achieve anything that you set out to achieve. The 21st law is the law of grace and favor. Without God, it is impossible. But with God, everything is possible. The 22nd law is the law of gratitude. You've got to give thanks in all situations. You've got to have a grateful and thankful heart. You've got to give thanks to God for who you are, who He's made you to be, and where you are. You've got to give thanks to the people that have helped you achieve what it is that you set to achieve. And you've got to be grateful for your life. You've got to be grateful for breath. The 23rd law is the law of reward. Reward every achievement that you have, no matter how small they are, but always ensure that you trash every achievement. And the 24th law is the law of fresh beginning. Start all over again immediately after you've achieved something phenomenal. Immediately after you've achieved peak performance, trash it, reward yourself, celebrate it, trash it, and start all over again. AAA, we've rolled out the 24 laws of consistent peak performance. Now, I want us to begin to pick the most critical of them, and let's begin to look at the psychology of consistent peak performance. Everybody knows what laws are. Laws are the rules that govern a field, an achievement, a space, a domain. But what is the psychology of consistent peak performance?
Peak performance is when you think you've gotten to the peak of your performance. When you look around you, there's also room for improvement. So that caught my attention, because fresh beginning, I like the way you put it, fresh beginning. When you have gotten to that height, stop. When you've gotten to what you think you've achieved, then start again. That's the only way you can live long. The secret for long life, some have found, is having something to live for. Wow. So when you have something to live for, you would live long, you would outperform any expectation anybody might have of you. But now, to talk about peak performance, your psychology basically is your mind, how your mind works, and how psychologists and scientists have found out that your mind has about 70% of effect on your performance. Wow. Now, if you can sort it out in your mind, you are 70% there.
Wow.
Already.
So what you're saying in effect, Ade, is that every peak performer has a sound mind. Every peak performer understands that it's internal. Every peak performer understands that the enemy within is the greatest enemy. And if you can sort out your thinking, if you can sort out your psychology, if you can sort out your beliefs, if you can sort out everything that happens within you, 70% of the work is done.
Yes, I'll share something. Recently, I took notice, and I took a keen interest in a particular athlete. His name is Novak Djokovic. He's a tennis player.
He won the last
Wimbledon. Now that's my point. Now, as at late last year, I read it in the papers that Novak Djokovic had just changed his coach.
Well, still coming back to coaches.
Yes, that's where I'm going.
Ade, you're a coach, aren't you?
Yes,
and I'm a coach.
Yes,
and so we're equipped to be talking about this topic, peak performance.
Exactly.
Fantastic. So
exactly.
Djokovic got a new coach.
Yeah. His name is Boris Becker. Now, Boris Becker,
who was a champion.
He was a champion.
Who had the mindset of championship.
Exactly. Now, Djokovic knew he needed to improve on his game. Early last year, he was doing well. But by the time the Spanish guy, Rafael Nadal, by the time Rafael Nadal came back
from injury,
he did so well, won all the majors, and he became number one. Now, Djokovic knew he had to make a change. So what did he do? He got a new coach.
He did something different.
Yes.
And they say that.
I know the interesting part. I watched the Wimbledon final, and Djokovic. This last Wimbledon final, and he had this unusual calm. Wow. He was playing with. I mean, the commentator had to say that he's so calm. Djokovic, that when he plays, he roars a lot. He only roared once.
Wow.
And you could see that the effect of his coach on his peak performance was obvious, because he was a different guy. He was winning, but he was calm about winning.
Wow. And
now that's what a coach can do for you.
That was Boris Becker at his peak. Boris Becker was cool, he was calm, but it was clinical.
Yes.
And he was able to transfer those qualities to Djokovic.
Exactly.
And Djokovic desired a new peak.
I needed a catalyst, from an external catalyst, to help him propel him towards his next level.
Listeners out there, you know, what a coach does, what a catalyst does, is helps you move from where you are to where you deserve to be. Now, it is when you consistently operate at your peak, when you maximize your potential, that you find fulfillment, that you find success, that you get the reward of accomplishment. The most powerful thing is that 75% of the rest of your thoughts are negative, limiting, disempowering thoughts. Now, it means that if we say that as a man thinketh in his heart, naturally you are programmed to fail, because 75% of the rest of the 70% of your thoughts are negative, limiting, disempowering thoughts. Which means that you need to consciously and deliberately begin to reprogram yourself to think positive, empowering thoughts. And how do you do that? If I say to you, don't think about a blue elephant, don't think about a blue elephant, it is impossible for you not to keep that thought of the blue elephant in your mind. But when I say think about a red elephant instead of a blue elephant, think about a red elephant,
yes.
then what you've done is you've replaced that blue elephant thought with a red elephant thought. So when we talk about changing your thoughts, when we talk about positive mental attitude, what we're saying is identify the negative thought, replace it with a positive opposite of it, and consistently focus on thinking about that positive, empowering thought. So, when you say, I don't want to think a negative thought, your subconscious mind actually deletes the don't. It cannot process negative.
Yeah.
So many people have said out there, I don't want a man that beats me. I don't want a man that abuses me. Your subconscious mind deletes don't and gives you the rest. So when it takes out don't, it gives you, I want a man that beats me. I want a man that disrespects me.
And that's what you attract.
That's what you attract. But what you want to say is, I want a man that honors me. I want a man that respects me. I want a man that loves me.
You want to focus on the
and you
positive.
want to focus on that positive. Always get the positive opposite, not the negative of the negative. Because your mind cannot process negative. Your mind can only process positives. What we're saying is that there are two principles of leverage. And the first principle is the principle of pleasure. When you are able to paint a picture of a desired future, when you are able to focus positively towards what you desire, towards your goal and your dreams, right? It motivates you, it creates leverage that inspires you and fires you in that direction. Also, pain is another leverage creator and another motivator. When you identify the things that you don't want and the things that you want to run away from. So there are two dimensions. You run away from what you don't want, right? But you're focusing on what you want. And identify the pain of losing and identify the pleasure of winning, and focus on the pleasure of winning. Like, you know, I say focus creates blindness and focus attracts. As I'm looking at you, Chris, I'm focusing on you. Now, there's so much behind me, but I'm blind to it. You catch the picture? But if I change my focus to my back, I realize that I cannot see you anymore. Neither can I see AAA. I've changed my focus from you to something else, which means that I'm blind to you. So if your dreams, your goals, positivity is your vision and your dream and your goals, focus on it. Don't focus on the distractions. Don't focus on the challenges. Don't focus on the obstacles.
Yeah.
Focus on where you're going. Yes, AAA.
Recently, I heard something from someone, Brian Tracy. He said a young man walked up to Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, and walked up to Warren Buffett, the third richest man in the world, and Bill Gates, the fourth, beg your pardon, and Bill Gates' father, and asked them, please, just 1 minute, I just want to ask you guys one question. What's the secret to success? And the three of them looked at him and chorused, focus.
Hey, Shaggy. Focus.
The richest man in the world and the fourth richest man in the world.
And the father.
They have to know something about this. They have to know something about succeeding.
Wow.
They said focus. So it reiterates what you've been talking about. Now I was going to add this as well, that it just explains how powerful your mind is to the actualization of your dreams and your goals and your success. You see, the mind is broken into two. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and it's like I see it most times like an iceberg. When you see an iceberg, no matter how big the iceberg is on the surface, what is underneath the surface is about 10 times the size of what you're looking at on top.
Focus is the key to consistent peak performance.
Yes.
But I'd like to add something to it. focusing on the right thing? What are you focusing on?
Yeah.
If you focus on the wrong thing, you'll be successful in the wrong things. If you focus on the negative things, you will consistently attain consistent peak performance in the negative things. If you focus on the positive things, you will attain consistent peak performance in the positive things. So the key is the first law. Sit down, create a picture of your desired future. What is your vision? What is your goal? Make sure that you write it down. But there is a secret to writing it down. Write it down in the past tense. The law of writing down your goals. Now, I was trying to describe the psychology of writing down your goal. You've got to first of all envision and imagine the actualized goal. You've got to first of all see yourself having achieved that goal. So you close your eyes, you imagine that you have achieved that goal, and you must put a date to it. Now, a goal without a date is a wish. So you've got to create that goal. You've got to create the destination. You've got to create the end result. And you've got to picture yourself having achieved it. So if it is a goal to have $1 million in your account by the 31st of December 2025, how you picture it and how you write it down is this. This is the 31st of December 2025, and I have $1 million in my account. Then the second thing you want to do is you want to write a check for $1 million, and you want to date it the 31st of December 2025. You want to put it everywhere you can see it. On your screensaver, you want to put it on your mirror, you want to put the check on your mirror, you want to put it as your DP picture. You want to put it everywhere you will see it every day. Now that in itself is the first step. It is only the first step. The next step is to keep focusing on that goal, irrespective of your experiences on a daily basis. Then you will take on the remaining 23 laws. None of these laws work outside of themselves. Consistent peak performance incorporates the use of all the 24 laws, inclusive with the psychology of consistent peak performance, which is the law, focusing on the law of belief, focusing on the law of positive mental attitude, focusing on the law of alignment. The law of alignment is having identified this your goal and your vision, having identified your core beliefs and ensuring that they are positive, you must identify your core values. What are the rules, the things that govern your life? So back to what I was saying, you've got to create alignment between your goals, your vision, your beliefs, and your values. If there's no alignment between the three, you would sabotage yourself. You know, you would not do anything that will violate your values. You will not achieve any goal that violates your core beliefs. Your core beliefs have to align with your vision and your value and your goals, and ultimately with your values. Looking at this example of first-class students and the other ones that focus on other things, the key is for you to attain wholeness. It's a combination of IQ and EQ. And IQ is your intelligence quotient, and EQ is your relationship quotient, is your self-awareness quotient, is developing your emotions, your strengths and your weaknesses, your social skills, your political skills, and a lot of those things. You've got to be a whole person. You've got to be a rounded person. And that's why we're saying that you need to understand the 24 laws of consistent peak performance, and you need to apply the psychology of peak performance. It's all about wholeness. You are spirit, soul, body. Let me put it this way. You are a spirit being. You have a mind and a soul, and you live in an earth suit, your body. Don't focus only on the physical things. Don't focus only on the visible things. Focus on your mind, develop your spirit, as well as you develop your physical essence. And that's why I cycle. That's why I work out, because my body has got to be conditioned to carry the intensity and the power of my mind and the awesomeness of my spirit. So I am a spirit being. I recognize that I have a soul and a mind, but I live in a soul. Awesome. If you have a Tokumbo body that is 30 years old, and you go and import a brand new Ferrari engine
and put in it
and brand new tires, that car will not perform like a brand new Ferrari with brand new engine, brand new tires, brand new body, brand new everything. No matter how good a driver you are, everything has got to be fit physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually.